Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Tom, and I'm here with Michelle Faria. She's a licensed professional counselor. Hello, Michelle. Welcome.
Hi, Tom. Thank you.
So let's talk about problem solving. How does the skill of problem solving help prevent anxiety?
Problem solving is a great skill for preventing anxiety because when we don't problem solve, then we tend to go to catastrophic thinking, which is worst case scenario. So somebody who struggles with anxiety will think, well, if this happens, this is the absolute worst thing that can happen. And then I just can't handle it. There's no way that I can work through it. So what we do with problem solving is we teach the skills on how to solve the unexpected, on what to do if something happens, and to go through the steps of how to find a resolution.
What are some examples of catastrophic thinking in everyday situations?
Well, just think about parents who are trying to keep their kids safe. A parent might be leaving their child home for the first time, and instead of saying, be sure and lock the door because locking the door makes sure that nobody can come into the house without your permission, parents might say, if you don't lock the door, somebody's going to come in the house and then they're going to steal your dog and they're going to steal all of our stuff. They might even steal you, so you have to lock the door to prevent that from happening. That is catastrophic thinking. That's going to a worst case scenario. You don't want to do that with an anxious kid because it just makes them more anxious. Now, maybe you want to do that with your child who doesn't lock the door and doesn't really care to try to get their attention. But with anxious children, you want to try to avoid catastrophic thinking. We need to understand that things happen. We do get sick. We can get stuck in an elevator. We can lose things. But we can work through it. And we don't need to go to worst case scenario to think about the worst thing that's going to happen. We just know life happens. And we can work through whatever life brings our way.
So let's say something's bothering you and you think about it over and over again. Is that problem solving?
No, that can be more like ruminating. Ruminating is when you're thinking, your head is spinning, just thinking and thinking and thinking about something, but there's no solution that comes forth. People stay awake at night, ruminating, just thinking about something that happened during the day and trying to figure out what to do about it. Problem solving requires action. Ruminating is just spinning the same thought over and over. So if we want to problem solve, we need to have some type of action to come up with a solution. It's needed for when we have the unexpected.
So how do you teach problem solving?
Well, problem solving requires breaking things down into parts and knowing sequencing to know this goes first and then this and then this. So you can have kids practice this by maybe writing down how do you brush your teeth. And they'll probably say, oh, you take a toothbrush, put toothpaste on it, and brush your teeth. You've skipped a lot of steps. So we're training their brain how to break things down into parts and how to sequence. So the first step might actually be you pick the toothbrush up from the toothbrush holder. That's number one. Number two, you take the cap off of the toothpaste. You put the toothpaste on the bristles of the toothbrush. Step by step sequencing the order. You can ask kids to go through the steps of what it takes to get ready for school in the morning. Have them practice breaking things down in the parts, because going to school in the morning getting ready is a problem, but it's so automatic for them on how to solve it that they don't even think that they're doing it. When you go to the store, tell kids we're trying to find canned beans. How do we find canned beans in the store? Have them go through the step-by-step process of knowing to go to the grocery section, knowing to look at the signs, and then knowing how to identify the type of beans that you want. So we're really just breaking things down into parts so that kids aren't so overwhelmed and anxiety doesn't show up. Kids often get overwhelmed because they're used to somebody stepping in and solving the problem for them. If they have a problem with the teacher, they're used to a parent stepping in and talking to the teacher, or a problem with the coach, or a problem with the director of the play. They don't know how to advocate for themselves. And learning how to problem solve is a skill that they need to practice. And the more they practice it, the more automatic it becomes for them. As kids get older, they'll take these skills into bigger things, like how to finish a school project, or how to even approach doing a research paper, how to apply for a job. So these problem-solving skills are so important, and they carry these skills with them the older they get.
Okay, so as a parent, if I'm trying to help my child teach them problem-solving skills, is it helpful if I explain how I solved a problem that I had in the past, step by step?
Oh yeah, that is an excellent idea. You're sharing your own problem-solving skills that you have learned about how you broke things down into parts, how you learned to sequence the steps. You can look at celebrities, and there's plenty of people in the news that have problems and then they resolve it. Talk about how this person or that person encountered a problem and the steps they went to resolve it so that it didn't keep them stuck. When we know how to solve our problems, then anxiety doesn't have a chance to come in and overwhelm us because we know we have the skills for the unexpected. Remember, anxiety wants certainty and comfort, but we have to be okay with things being uncertain because we know even when things are uncertain and the unexpected happens, we have the skills needed to problem solve and work through it.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for that helpful information. So if you have questions about anxiety, contact your own mental health care provider.
Or you can contact me at michellefadias.com or at 210-926-9535. I'd be more than happy to talk to you and answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Tom.